My name is Ryan Griffin, and I'm going to be showcasing a tutorial on how to make this wooden end table. I'm also going to be showcasing basically creating an entire asset from beginning to end with a AAA game workflow in mind. So without further ado, I'm going to go through and showcase a little bit of Blender and this other program here, which is PureRef, for those who haven't used this before. Both Blender and PureRef are free software that you can utilize to be able to make 3D assets. So what I'm going to be doing is a more standard AAA pipeline with a high poly to low poly workflow. Now with this, I'm going to be breaking up the asset into different parts and being able to work in a additive kind of workflow. So just be able to kind of start out. I wanted to be able to get the proper size for my asset. So I basically have this like scale ref for a human. This is the Unreal Engine for Mannequin. And I have imported this into my workspace. So within that, I basically am file import and then getting my asset into the game or into the viewport. And from there, I'm basically going and doing a file import and add a cube. And this is basically the approximate size for this. So this is about this is in meters. We can set it to meters, centimeters, feet, inches. Like you can change that up to be whatever size you need, but it's basically like the approximate height of a scaled human. If you don't have a mannequin, basically the default cube at 2 meters is the appropriate size for a human. So with this, we're going to go and first kind of look at our initial reference here. So in this, this is basically a 3D model of a wooden end table that is utilizing a bunch of textures to be able to make this. So this is probably using a PBR or a photorealistic style with a PBR is a physically based rendering pipeline for creating textures. So with this, we're going to be using a similar workflow to be able to make that kind of asset. But if you notice here, we can break up the parts here into different different segments here. So we have a lot of this is symmetrical, and so we can model the different parts and be able to make them into different areas to make this asset quicker and more simplified. So we have this top piece, we have a middle section with these drawers here. It also has a extra accent on the left and right sides. And then it has the legs as well as a bottom section here. You also notice a little handle as well as some other trim elements that we will be creating. So we're going to be making a high poly version of this. So what I mean by high poly is a version which is going to be creating all of our detail that is looking close to what the asset is looking like. So that is the high poly. Then we will make a low poly in-game version of this from our high poly. Now, sometimes like you can have what's called a blockout. And a blockout basically has primitive shapes that would be setting the volume and workflow for the rest of the asset, which you would then turn into a high poly model. So with that, we're going to be starting out with a blockout model. So I'm going to basically put this to the side here. Now I'm going to keep new collection here. Well, actually, let me actually stop for 2 seconds and be able to go over a little bit of Blender here. So let me just get this cube in here. So in order to do like basic things, because we are doing this as a beginner-friendly tutorial, I'm going to go over a little bit of Blender in general. So Blender is a free software that is able to do a lot of different things, whether it is creating 3D assets, animations, simulations, movie, indie film production, feature film production, rigging, effects, simulation, material generation, and sculpting. It can do a lot of different things. We're going to be focusing on a small segment of this software that can be used in many different ways. So with 3D modeling, there is a few different things that we're going to be working towards. So we're going to be working in an additive way by creating meshes. So right now I'm in the modeling tab. So by default, it's going to be in probably layout, but we're going to switch over to modeling. Each of these tabs have a different context to what they are doing. So you can obviously see that each of these have a different name. So layout, modeling, sculpting, etc. They tend to be used in those ways. So I'm going to just do modeling for right now. So this center section is our viewport. Now with this viewport, it has a lot of different things that are contextual to this. So you can see here that on this top ribbon here, you have like your traditional like file management here, and then you have stuff that is contextual to the modeling tab. So with this, you have like your basic adding of different assets. So if you wanted to add like text or something, that is here, and you also have different mesh types. So if you wanted to do, say, like a cylinder, that is here. And then you can adjust things. But you'll notice that if I say I go and add, say, that cube again, or the cylinder again, you'll notice that there's this little pop-up that happens here. And so this is actually contextual to the primitive that we generated. And so with this, I can dynamically actually change the number of sides to this, right? And that will help with the number of sides and things. Generally, with cylinders, I like to work in powers of 2. So say like 8 sides, or 16, or 32. Those are generally what I like to do. You can go with 6, 8, or 6, 12, and 24. Basically, the reason why I like to use the other one is that I like to be able to work in quarters. So if I put this into a quarter, I can model it the same and then rotate it 4 times to be able to get something that's similar. So with that, that's just a little bit about like some parts of this. So you'll also notice that there are things that are contextual to the object right now, because right now we're in object mode. There's also edit mode as well. So the object mode, you can see that the entire object is highlighted orange, right? But this is the edit mode, which is contextual to the sub mesh. So this is highlighted with the orange here on this face. So a 3D object is made of different components. So a cube has 6 sides, like with your regular 6-sided dice, for like if you're rolling a dice, right? But with this, a face. So this face here has 4 vertices or points. A vertex is a single point in space. A edge is one side of that, and then you have 4 edges, which make up an entire face. You can also have faces that are 3. So before it just becomes an edge, right? So if I was to go in and say, let's go merge to center, right? So now this is now a triangle, right? And if I did that for, like, say, like this and this here, then I merge center, right? Now it is now a pyramid, which is a different basic geometric shape, right? So contextually, you have edges, or sorry, vertices, edges, and faces. There's also other selection methods, but this is the majority of what the polygonal geometry is going to be using. So that's a little bit of like basic terminology with that. There's going to be a lot of different terminology that you'll pick up as you work with 3D more. So you'll see on this side here, we also have different transforms. So you have this, this little gizmo here in the center, right? So you have this red, blue, and green, like directions, right? So these are actually different axes on which your 3D space is and the 3D object in it. So you'll see that this here is the x-axis, right? Because this is moving on this x-axis here. And this here is the y, and this is the z-axis, okay? So if I put that back down to 0, this is the origin of everything. So this is at the 0, 0, 0, or the origin. And you also have the same thing, but with rotation. So you can also rotate your objects. You can also scale your objects as well. So each of these have general 3 sets of general movement within the environment. You also have your camera, right? So right now I have my the orbit or rotation within the camera is just the middle mouse button, and then the middle mouse button for scrolling is zooming, right? And then for panning, it is middle mouse button and shift to be able to pan. So that's generally how you are able to move around the world. You also have this gizmo here, which helps to be able to move around. And so if you need to quickly be able to get to a orthogonal view versus a perspective view, you are able to go quickly between the two. Depends on your preferences. If you need to be able to get a specific angle, like if you need this top angle, you can do that specifically. And the reason why that is a top angle, right, is if I go and select my new object here and then go to top, this is now the top, right? And this is the front and the side and the back, right? So this allows you to go back and forth between the different viewports. And so all of these are contextual to what you need. So this is just like a basic primer for learning a little bit more about Blender. So you have another thing over here, which is your outline or scene collection. So with this, this is where I have different parts that I have added into my scene. Now, like I said before, this is my my high poly / block out for my reference, right? So this is one-to-one. I've already made this. I'm going to be showcasing how to make that in the next part of the tutorial. So in the collection, I basically have different things that I can turn on and off, right? So with this, I can go and hide different things. I can go and add new collections to things. I can copy and paste things from one section to another. Let's say if I go and Control-C to copy and Control-V, that actually goes and then creates this new asset, and I can rename this to like me or something. or block, then I can go and put that into this collection. And so if I this is now in there, so I'm just going to delete that. So the top section here, it has a open subdiv, and this is like similar to a subdivision open subdiv or turbo smooth that are in different 3D software. It basically adds geometry, makes the mesh more smooth essentially. And this can be something that you can turn on and off. But we'll also be getting into a different section as well. So like with this, right? There's actually a section here with a viewport. You can see this is a shaded viewport. You can also go into wireframe view, which is a different style of rendering. And so with this, you can see how much extra geometry I've put into the different sections which I've modeled out here. And with this, you can go into shaded. You can also go into one that has textured and lighting as well, which I don't have any textures or lighting yet, but I will later on in the tutorial, since we are going to be able to light and texture this in a different in Substance Painter eventually. But this is all contextual to the actual asset, so we'll be getting to that eventually. So let's see if I can think of anything else which might be relevant to modeling. That's going to be it probably for now. So I'm going to edit. I'm going to stop here, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.